Say Ar-Rahman Rahim in English.
And you are the most merciful of those who show mercy.
Can you hear back there? Yes? You cannot hear. Okay. Say again louder.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When Hz Ayyub is making his dua to Allah SWT, he's saying, Ya Rabbi, indeed, distress has touched me, and you are the most merciful of those who show mercy.
Okay. What is distress?
What is
distress?
Distress, trouble.
Trouble. Yeah, Bear, you know English, so describe it for those who don't know. I don't know English so good. What is distress? Trouble, worry.
Or pain, something that's weighing on you all the time.
Okay. I mean, I know a little bit of English. Distress is something that troubling you and is making you to become weaker, more cut up, more hurt. Okay? It's not only a trouble, but the trouble is showing its harshness on you. You understand? And you're becoming more, just like if you say, these clothes, they are distressed. This house is distressed. Okay, now the question is?
In that dua, the way that he's putting it, he's not saying what the distress is. He's not saying where the distress is coming from. And he's not even asking Allah SWT for relief. He's not saying, you're the most merciful, so help me, so cure me. He's just saying what's happening to him, and then he's giving Allah SWT's attribute. So I'm asking the wisdom in this, the way that he's...
The wisdom, that wisdom is endless. The wisdom of the prophets, it is endless. The wisdom of the prophets, it is endless. The wisdom of Hz Ayyub alayhi salam. You think Hz Ayyub didn't know it was coming from Allah? Huh? He's a prophet. At that time, it is the kalima shahadat is la ilaha illallah, Ayyub Rasulullah. Understand that? You think he doesn't know that it is coming from his dost? But is it coming from his Lord directly? No. It's coming from who? Shaitan. Shaitan came, made all his wealth to go down, sending all illness and sickness to his family and his sons and his children, that they die. Shaitan is coming. And he can see that. Would he not know it's Shaitan? Of course he knows. But understand the Prophet now, seeing that it is Shaitan and understanding Allah is allowing it to happen. Allah is allowing it to happen. Do you think he doesn't know why Allah is allowing it to happen? He is a prophet, he must know why. Because Ayyub alayhi salam is known for his what? Huh? Patience. You think he earned that patience after his test? Or he's always been known to be patient? In fact, what was Shaitan saying to Allah? He's only patient because you give him such easy life. You give him difficult life, you're going to see him very impatient and very angry and very ungrateful and very tricky and calling everything very angrily. When are we going to step back to say this is all coming from Allah? In Tariqat, we're saying anything happens to us is coming from our Shaykh. Correct or no? But people pick and choose now. They say, oh, this is right, but this is not. That's when you enter into a slippery slope. He's correct in that, but he's not correct in that. Ayyub alayhi salam, knowing that Shaitan is coming, attacking, killing him, causing him so much distress. Do you ever hear anywhere Ayyub alayhi salam is fighting Shaitan? saying to Allah, the level of that Prophet, it is not for us, level of that Prophet to say, why are you allowing this to happen to me? What did I ever do to you? Angry at Allah or angry at Shaitan? It's not showing it. The level of a believer, Allah is putting out 24, 25 prophets only in the Quran Karim by name to show the characteristics of his Habib, because his Habib has all those characteristics. And those ones who are following him, especially in the Akhir Zaman, you have to have those characteristics. Whatever that is coming to you, you have to carry that. And you must know that your Allah is watching. You cannot get up and blame people, especially in the way of tasawwuf. You cannot blame anyone but yourself. La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntum minaz zalimin. That is another dua of another prophet, Hz Yunus. Was he being a tyrant to himself? His nation was being a tyrant to him. He was bringing the word of Allah, and his nation was being a tyrant to him, beating him up, cursing him, doing everything until it became so heavy that he just wants to walk away a little bit. And because of that, Allah is punishing him. He didn't curse back at his nation. He didn't curse at Allah. There's a long story there where he was, and he knew. He wasn't thrown into the ocean. They didn't want to throw him into the ocean, but he knew he has to. And the zikr that he had to do for 40 days and nights in the belly of that whale, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntum minaz zalimin. Verily, inni means verily, surely, definitely. I'm the person who oppresses himself. There's another secret there that is talking about his work that he has to do. If you are not doing your work, the only person that you are oppressing is yourself, not anyone else. Because Allah can remove. You don't want to do the work, Allah will send 1,000 people to do that work for you. Yes? We cannot think we are the only ones. I'm not the only one. So that Prophet, Ayyub alayhi salam, his prayer, look how beautiful his prayer is. And when did he recite that prayer? When did he recite that prayer? He recited that prayer when he picked up the worm that fell to the ground and he put it back on him. Then he felt the pain he has never felt before. Because Ayyub alayhi salam, not only his children were taken away, they were killed, affliction, all these kinds of things, his wealth, everything was, he started to have this disease, he had to have these boils on his body, and it started to break and it smells, and there is a worm inside that eats his flesh. That his wife cannot take care of him anymore. She had to bring him to a cave somewhere, coming once a day only to go to attend to him and to go back. And he has to sit, understand the trial of a prophet. Did he do anything wrong? No. Did he complain to his Lord, say, why are you doing this? He knew, he understood. Understanding, he understood. He's not saying, why are you doing this to me? You're betraying me. He's not saying that. And because of his, Allah is not allowing him to feel any pain. But one day, those worms, one of them came out and it fell to the ground, and he picked it up and he put it back again. Then he felt pain, and the divine voice, he heard it saying, Ya Ayyub, whatever I give to you, I will give you ease. Whatever difficulty I give to a believer, I will give you ease. But if you put that difficulty on yourself, it is not coming from me now. You are the one who's putting it on yourself. Because it fell to the ground, he picked it up, he put it on himself. And then he started. And that worm too, it came and it started eating his heart. Don't think the worm came and then he felt a pain and then he started to. No. The worm started traveling, eating his heart. And the pain when he ate his heart, and he understood that now his time will be up. He cannot make zikr anymore. He cannot remember his Lord anymore. And that is the reason why he's crying. Then Allah is saying that because you put it to yourself, that's when he's saying, distress has touched me. You are the most merciful of the most merciful. In fact, now understand with the connection to Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam. He's asking for Allah's mercy. La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntu minaz zalimin is asking for Allah's mercy. And Hazrat Ayyub is also asking for Allah's mercy. And Allah is showing us now, whatever Allah is giving us, He can give us that ease. But if you do it yourself, the ease is not going to come so easy. And he realized that. Which is why he says, you are still the most merciful of the most merciful. And then what happened? He passed. Allah took away everything now. And he came back to life. He came back to full life. He came back to full health. He came back, his wife came back to him. He had others. His wealth came back to him. His children came back to him. But don't think that Prophet needed all of that to show that Allah is good to me. He didn't need that. But Allah is showing to us now. So, something that is touching us, difficulties that is touching us. It doesn't matter which hand it is coming from. Oh, how many times we hear, it doesn't matter what comes to me, whether you give me a rose or the thorn of a rose, it is coming from you, correct? We hear that years, no? Now we understand. Some things. The ego says, we only want rose from you. Don't you dare give us a thorn. You give us a rose, you are being just. You give us a thorn, you are being unjust. Hasha, astaghfirullah. Can we say that about our Shaykh? Can we say that about a Prophet and Allah? Because ultimately Allah is giving it. Those who are calling themselves Ahlul Bayt, those who are calling themselves following in that tradition, the Ahlul Bayt, not Shia kind of Ahlul Bayt, real Ahlul Bayt, they never curse at their enemies. Never. No Prophet cursed at their enemies like that. Correct or not? It's not a characteristic. Ahlul Bayt, you want to curse? That is showing now. Now, they're cursing left and right. What is that? Something happened to you, pull back. Go back into your cave. Maybe you should go into the stomach of a fish. Pull yourself back and say, astaghfirullah. These things are happening. So, yes, we are coming to the new year. How many more days it is? Like a week? 10 days? About 10 days, a week. New year coming. Ashura. So many events of Ashura showing again the mercy of Allah. But showing now how in this Akhir Zaman with the last Prophet, ﷺ, because it is so evil in these days, in the Akhir Zaman, in the nation, because the Prophet ﷺ also knows how evil his nation is, no? Did he or he didn't know? Wasn't it shown to him when he was in the cave how his nation was so huge, bigger than any other prophet and more beautiful, and he was smiling and he was happy, and how he saw his nation turning and he was crying And Allah says, now your responsibility is to return them as clean and pure as I put them into this world. And that was when he asked for the assistance, and Allah SWT sent the Nakshibendi Shaykhs from that time until Akhir Zaman to turn people, to clean them up. So he knew. Mercy of Allah showing? Yes. And sometimes for Allah to show that mercy too, certain sacrifice has to be made. The prophets, they always sacrifice themselves. And the children of the prophets that are following properly, they have to sacrifice themselves. To stand up against the batil. To say, now, the batil may come to crush you. It is better to be like the people of Hussein. Hazretleri. Than those other ones who change. May Allah give us strength to be able to carry that. We are very weak, dirty ones. May Allah give us the power and the strength to do that. Not to fall into the batil, but to stand up with the haqq, with our lives, inshallah. Fatiha.